What is it that holds you back, my friend? Why do you hesitate to speak, to act, to simply be? Have you ever truly stopped to ponder this question? That tiny voice in your mind, the one that whispers, "Don't. They'll judge you," is so subtle, so quiet, and yet so persistent. It stops you when you are ready to leap. It silences you when your heart longs to sing. It hides you in the shadows when you are meant to shine brightly in the light. Hesitation is a curious thing. It feels so tangible, so heavy, as if it were a physical force pressing against your very soul. And yet, what is it really? It is not something you can see or hold. It is not a wall you can touch or a chain you can break with your hands. No, it is a prison made entirely of your own thoughts, an illusion with the power to paralyze. Do you see how strange this is? How can something without substance, without form, have such control over you? It is like being trapped in a room with no walls or doors, yet believing you cannot leave. And the saddest part is, you hold the key to this prison. You always have. That voice in your head, the one that says, "Stop, you're not good enough," or "Don't try, they will laugh at you," is not your protector. It is your captor. It claims to shield you from pain, but in truth it keeps you from experiencing the fullness of life. Think of all the times you wanted to speak up but stayed quiet. All the moments you felt inspired to act but hesitated. All the chances you had to show the world who you truly are, but instead you chose to stay hidden. Was it worth it? Did the fear you were avoiding ever truly leave? Or did it grow stronger each time you obeyed it? This hesitation, this fear of judgment, is nothing more than a shadow. And like all shadows, it grows only when you turn away from the light. What if, instead of running from it, you faced it? What if you challenged that voice, questioned its authority, and decided to live as if it held no power over you? You see, my friend, this is the great irony. The very act of holding back to avoid pain is what causes the most suffering. By hesitating, by hiding, by silencing yourself, you rob the world of your unique gifts, and you rob yourself of the joy that comes from living authentically. So I ask you again, what is it that holds you back? Look closely, and you will see that the prison walls are not real. The lock on the door is not fastened. The voice that tells you to stay small has no authority unless you give it permission. The choice is yours. Will you continue to live within this cage of hesitation, or will you step into the light of your true self? The world is waiting for you, my friend. Not the timid version of you that hesitates and doubts, but the bold, vibrant soul that is ready to leap, sing, and shine. What will you choose? Think about it. Who built this cage around you? Was it the people around you? Was it society? No, the truth is, no one else is keeping you trapped. The bars of this cage, this hesitation, were built by none other than you. You see, each of us is a craftsman of our own limitations. We start building these cages brick by brick, fear by fear. Perhaps you were laughed at once when you spoke your mind, so now you keep your thoughts to yourself. Maybe you faced rejection when you tried something new, so now you hesitate to take risks. You feared failure, so you stopped trying altogether. These fears solidify into barriers, shaping a mental prison that stifles your voice, drains your energy, and hides the most authentic version of you. But here is the paradox. These walls feel so real, yet they are nothing more than the echoes of your past experiences and the stories you've chosen to tell yourself. The fear of rejection is not rejection itself. The fear of judgment is not judgment itself. And the fear of failure is not failure itself. They are shadows of possibilities, not certainties, and yet we allow them to define us. What's more, the people we fear judgment from, they are often too consumed with their own fears and insecurities to be as critical as we imagine. Society, too, is not a monolithic entity out to get you. It is just a collection of individuals, many of whom are just as afraid as you are. This cage, this hesitation, is not protecting you from pain. It is denying you the richness of life, the courage to be vulnerable, to take risks, to fail and try again. That is where freedom lies. The power to tear down these walls doesn't come from others. It comes from within. So I ask you, what would happen if you stopped laying another brick? What would happen if, instead of building more barriers, you started dismantling them? What if you let yourself speak, act, and be without the weight of fear holding you back? The cage you're in has no lock, no guard, and no chains. The only thing keeping you inside is the belief that you cannot step out. Challenge that belief. Step forward. And you will find that the walls crumble as you move, revealing a world that was always yours to claim. Imagine something simple, something primal, a scream. Imagine your very survival depends on it. Could you unleash it with all the force your body can muster? Most people, even when given such a dire scenario, would hesitate. A hand clamps over their own mouth, not physically, but mentally. It's not because they lack the ability. It's because they've been trained by fear to hold back. The fear of being too loud, of drawing attention, of standing out. This fear